this season with all their new signings, because I thought this would be quite interesting. Arsenal have signed obviously players like Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, Jurgen Timber, all of these guys, which maybe indicate a change in the style, and it's very interesting to see how these players fit into how Arsenal want to play. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it today and give my thoughts on how tactically they might set up how these players will fit into the new Arsenal system. Now, we did one of these on Pochettino's Chelsea, made sure to check that out. I'll put the link in the description for that. You guys loved it, so we're doing Arsenal next. If any of you want to see another team, then please do let me know, and I can make that happen. But yeah, let's begin. So I wanted to talk a little bit first at how Arsenal set up last season, just to give you an indication on what's going to change or where the other players will fit into this, and then I'll go through my thoughts on who will play where and all of that stuff. So, last season, predominantly this was Arsenal's team: Ramsdale in goal, Ben White right back, William Saliba and Gabriel centre backs. Zinchenko was left back, Thomas Partey, Odegaard and Xhaka in the midfield, with Jesus, Saka and Martinelli. It did change a little bit due to injuries and other stuff, but predominantly this was their main team last year. Now, in terms of how this team played, I mean, it was originally set up in a 4-3-3, but when they had the ball, it was very different. So what would happen is Xhaka and Odegaard would push up to essentially become number 10s. Oops. Yeah. Let's put our, yeah, okay. Zinchenko would invert into midfield and join Thomas Partey. Gabriel would shift over, and they would essentially form now a 3-2-2-3 and form this box midfield here. That's usually what they did, and if they were coming up against a particularly low block, this was quite a flexible thing, because what would happen is if they were coming up against a low block, or for whatever reason they had to switch, what would happen is Granit Xhaka would maybe pull away here. Gabriel Jesus, so known for it, would drop deep there and allow this space here for a Martinelli or a Saka to go in. Or what they would do is they would try and get Ben White to go forward, overlapping Saka, attacking the space there. And also, a lot of the time you would also see Granit Xhaka. This is why he had one of his best seasons. Granit Xhaka would be making runs in behind the defence there. Jesus would be dropping deep, and that's why Xhaka managed to get quite a few goals, or Xhaka would help Martinelli on an overlap here. So it was very flexible. Odegaard as well was very vital, roaming around in this right half space kind of channel here, and again Jesus drops in, Odegaard goes in there, and it would essentially be a very fluid system. And Zinchenko was obviously very key to that with his inverting in there, but it worked very well. It did work very well, and this is kind of similar, basically very similar to what Man City did last season, switching their formation. But I would say probably Ben White probably got forward a little bit more than the others. So essentially what would happen, it would look more kind of like that, and Bukayo Saka would be inverting, Jesus would be there, and a lot of their goals, Ben White would cross it from wide, and Xhaka or Odegaard would make those runs into the box while Jesus was there. And it would essentially look a lot like that last season. Yeah, he would just cross that ball like that, saw Xhaka and Odegaard got tons and tons of goals. It was a very, very good system last season, I must say. Now, where do the new signings fit into this? So, if we go back to the 4-3-3 originally, just like this, there's quite a lot of change for the Arsenal team, which is weird considering how good they were, but that indicates that there might be a little shift. So, Granit Xhaka is gone. He is gone to Bayer Leverkusen. So he is out of the team. Thomas Partey, there's been major rumours that he is going to leave. And even if he doesn't, it does appear that they're not going to play him. He's going to be replaced. So Partey is out of the team. So who do they replace in these players? Well, Declan Rice is in. Kai Havertz is also in. Now, how do these players fit into the team? Well, personally, I think this is how they will set up. I think it's fairly simple, to be honest. I think Declan Rice, well, there's a couple ways this could work. So, I'm not entirely sure if Kai Havertz will play this Xhaka role. I'm almost certain Declan Rice will replace Thomas Partey and play essentially the same role as Partey. Kai Havertz, I'm not too sure if he's coming to replace Xhaka. I suspect he has, just because we've not really been linked to another midfielder, so that suggests that Kai Havertz will be playing that role. Now, as a Chelsea fan, I know quite a lot about Kai Havertz. He's a bit of a weird one because he's kind of like a jack of all trades and master of none, if you like. The only role he's really good at is a second striker role, like playing off a striker like that. That's the only role where he's been exceptional. He's played out on the right wing, been okay. Cam, he's been okay. Played striker, played false nine, been okay. Played centre mid a couple times, but not really, been okay. So he's a bit of a weird one. But what I will say is one of Kai Havertz's biggest strengths is his off-the-ball movement and ability to get into goal-scoring positions. Right, like, as a Chelsea fan, I will say that he would find himself in a lot of good positions because his movements and runs would be fantastic. It's just a lot of the time he would mess it up when he would get the ball in those positions, especially those runs into the box and heading. Now, for me, that is why I think that he will play the Xhaka role, and that's why I think he's been identified as that, because if we go into the shape, so Zinchenko, I believe, will invert again, and I think Declan Rice now, I think he could play a little bit different to Thomas Partey, just because I feel like he has a lot more to his game. I feel like Rice could potentially play a little bit further up than Thomas Partey, but it will most likely just form like this. Essentially exactly how they formed last season with Declan Rice instead of Partey and Havertz instead of Xhaka, but as I said, I think Declan Rice probably has a bit more to his game, so I feel like potentially when they have the ball, we might see Declan Rice potentially going forward a bit more like this, and it essentially forming like that, if you like, just because I feel it is a bit weird if you spend that much money on someone who plays a bit deeper, and I think Declan Rice has the ability to go forward a little bit more. So it could potentially be something like that, but most likely it will probably just be that. Now, where Kai Havertz, I will admit I was a bit of a hater of this deal at the start, and I was laughing at Arsenal for spending that much money on him. But as I was doing this, I realised now why they signed him, and he's kind of perfect for the discussed with Xhaka, what would happen when they were in this formation is Jesus would drop in, Xhaka would go forward, or Jesus would drop in and Odegaard would go forward, or what would happen is, let's go like this, Ben White would go forward as we said, overlap, cross the ball into the box for Havertz and Xhaka and Odegaard arriving in there. And what did I say about Havertz's off-ball movement? It's really good. He's really good at attacking those spaces, running forward into those spaces, and he's also he always finds himself with those runs into box and getting heading opportunities, but he is just shocking at heading. And Ben White crosses the ball a lot. We saw tons of goals last season where Ben White would cross the ball there into the box for someone to either head Xhaka or just tap it in. So I actually think Kai Havertz will score a lot of goals doing that if he can master his game at heading, get better at that, because this is basically his game. Jesus linking up there with Jesus and running beyond him and getting the balls from Ben White or Bukayo Saka. I do think that if that happens, Kai Havertz will do really, really well at Arsenal. So that's how I think Havertz will fit in. Also, to be fair, this could change to Jurgen Timber. I suspect those two will rotate quite a bit. As for Declan Rice, as I said, I think he could potentially play a little bit higher up. And if this happens here, then I guess that allows Havertz to push up and essentially play alongside Jesus, and they kind of play like this in a way when they have the ball, or they just essentially push these two up together like that, and it will form something like that. I think that could definitely work as well. Also, Kai Havertz could potentially just play that Jesus role, but as I said, then if he does that, I don't know who they play in the midfield then to replace Havertz if they did this. I don't know who plays in this role here. I don't think they have another player who could do that role, to be honest. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen there. But also, to be fair, Declan Rice does give them a bit of flexibility as well. Declan Rice could potentially, if need be, drop in essentially as a centre back. So what they can do actually is they can line up, I guess, similar to how the Spurs team lined up. So when they have the ball, essentially, if we go like that, and then we can just like take him out. Essentially, when they have the ball, Declan Rice slots in just in front, sort of as a back three. Zinchenko comes in there, and then potentially they can use whoever they want here. Oops. Nope. Okay. They can use whoever they want there instead of Ben White to play that role. That could potentially happen as well, or they use Ben White, bomb forward, Declan Rice kind of just sits there a little bit. They can even, if they play Tierney or Zinchenko, then they can bomb them forward. I think Rice just gives them a bit more stability, similar to how Pochettino's team played when we did that analysis. I could definitely see Arsenal in these positions like that, using Zinchenko and White to get those balls into the box for Havertz and Odegaard, and then Declan Rice mops up those counter-attacks. I could definitely see it happening. The only thing I'm concerned a little bit about is off the ball when defending with Kai Havertz in the midfield. I think Declan Rice is going to help massively, but I am a little bit concerned about Kai Havertz give that to him, but I don't know if he can do that work in the midfield. I feel like this midfield could potentially get overrun, but I suspect that Declan Rice will support him well. My only concern is, as I said, let's say Declan Rice got an injury, who comes in there? Let's say, I don't know, let's say they keep Vardy. Yeah, Vardy comes in to replace him. I would be a little bit more concerned defensively there that Vardy won't be able to cover for Havertz. And as I said, if Havertz gets injured, I don't know who plays in this role, to be honest. Jorginho, I don't know if he's staying around. I guess if Jorginho stays, then it's going to have to be a sort of switch. And Jorginho plays this role and Declan Rice can push up. That's why Declan Rice is a very good signing, because Declan Rice is able to play that role when they invert. So that's probably what will happen if Kai Havertz isn't going to play, then Declan Rice would just play that role. I think he can play that role pretty well, to be honest. So maybe you might see something like that, but I don't know, Jorginho might be leaving, so for me that's why I think they need another midfielder in there, either who can play the Kai Havertz role, or someone who can play the Declan Rice role. I mean, they could potentially play Emil Smith Rowe there. I think he could do that job pretty well. The only problem again would be off the ball when they're defensively like that. I don't know how that would work, because Granit Xhaka would do a lot of defensive work. I don't know if Smith Rowe or Havertz will be able to do that. So yeah, I think Declan Rice is going to be key in terms of doing their defensive work and helping them out there. I just have my concerns if Declan Rice goes injured, what happens? But I do think I've come to terms. Have a pretty good signing, Declan Rice, a very good signing. I think they will help Arsenal out a lot, and I think this is not Havertz. No gaps. There we go. I think this is probably how you're going to see Arsenal set up a lot of the time, and then you'll probably, let's say they're going to rotate, because they're going to need to rotate quite a bit. You'll probably see Timber, because they're in Europe now. Timber might go there. You could probably see Smith Rowe come into this position. Trossard could go there. That could potentially happen, or maybe they could go Kai Havertz here and Trossard here, something like that. I'm not sure. It could potentially be something like this Arsenal, but if I'm an Arsenal fan, it's pretty promising, to be fair. It is pretty promising, but yeah, those are just my thoughts on how Arsenal will line up with the lines of Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my thoughts, and if you have enjoyed, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in another